Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island Australia Season 6, Episode 9 and 10. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So we pick up with Hannah and Nico still not talking to each other because they have yet to rehash what happened in the hideaway. So the guys, Nico's telling the guys, Hannah's telling the girls that, yeah, it was just a sucky conversation. Nico's stance actually makes sense, but because he was kind of steamrolling the conversation, Hannah is annoyed at his communication style. So he wants to talk to her. She's not ready to talk, so she's taking her time getting ready. He's annoyed at waiting, but eventually they end up having the conversation.
I'm so passionate when it comes to trust. If I have the insecurity and I don't trust you as a person, I wouldn't be with you. We can spend every day together. One weekend with the girls will make you beg for me back.
I do understand where you're coming from.
That's the only way I look at it. Sorry.
Like, you were like talking at me and then I'd say one thing and you'd be like, yeah. I felt like if I didn't agree with you, you just kept going.
Sorry for the way I communicated.
It's okay.
Now that both of them had had some time to, think through their feelings, they are more understanding of the conversation. She, again, says, I don't like how you communicated in that your fight style is not compatible with mine and your communication style is not compatible with mine. I also think with her trying to take time away from him and not just tell him, hey, I need a moment, is an issue as well. But he seems to want to talk on his terms too, which can be a problem. There's just some issues with this couple. I do think that they resolved it well, though. I absolutely think they did. Now that they've both had more time to articulate themselves, Nico does make sense. Like, it doesn't have to be a crazy party or whatever. And at the end of the day, trust is the most important thing in a relationship, for sure. But I can see where Hannah would start to spiral, because she said, if I went to Vegas and had like a crazy bachelorette party, that wouldn't bother you. And he was like, no, I trust you. So the assumption is, if you're okay with her going crazy for a bachelorette party, you're likely planning on doing the same. And she doesn't like that. She doesn't like it for herself. She doesn't like it for her partner, right? Then he says, oh, a weekend away should leave you wanting to beg for me back, or something like that. And I know he was relating it to just craving your partner again after spending that time away. It's just that word begging didn't really sit right with me, but I won't crucify him for it. It really wasn't that deep. Yeah, they got to work on their communication. They really do. She didn't want to talk to him, so she was taking her time getting ready. And I do understand just taking a moment to think things through before responding in like the heat of the moment. But let your partner know. Let him know, hey, we're gonna talk. I need a moment. And then for him, he seems to want to talk like on his terms, even when they are just sitting with each other. If he doesn't get like his point across first, he gets really frustrated. So yeah, they got some things to iron out. But ultimately, I do think they resolved it quite well. Mimi is upset with Dylan because he promised that he would step up and he hasn't been pulling his weight. Now, and as much as I do believe that they both could have been doing more, if she has expressed, I need this from you, and he has said, I am going to do this for you, and then doesn't do it, he's in the wrong for that. He is. He didn't ask for more from her, it seems. So what she was doing was all right. He was the one who had to prove himself, and he failed. So she went up to him and she was like, you know what? I'm good off you. I'm going to move on to Steph. Let's hug it out. Cool. This guy in no time moves swiftly on to Sophie.
Nice.
Hi, Andy. Can I take Sophie for a chat?
Yeah, sure.
I like your personality. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we could click.
I'm feeling a little bit of like excitement today. Maybe it has something to do with you, but I don't know for sure.
Feeling giggly. I can hear you speak with your eyes.
You know what? I flirt with my eyes. Why do you keep looking at my lips?
I want to do something.
I feel like, I don't know what I feel like.
Dylan is trying so hard to fight against the reputation of being an F. It's not even a reputation, honestly. The speculation that he is an F-boy, but he's not doing himself any favors because you're all talk and no action at this point. He's really good at the beginning to rope you in. Well, when it comes to sustaining a connection, flat. Elisha, Mimi. He's gonna do it with Sophie because in this episode, somebody else catches his attention. And it's like, Dylan, yes, it's Love Island, but you're not doing too great. I think he's made some good strides in the sense that when things were really good with Mimi, he would express wanting to see what was out there, but like continuing to say, Mimi is my priority and I'm not going to jeopardize that. That's good, but he promised to step up and he didn't step up. Now you got Sophie. She already said she's quite toxic. She likes men who basically hate her. So it'll be interesting to see where this connection goes. In the evening, they end up doing a recoupling. Sophie Monk says that everybody has to be in a couple. Of course, this is Love Island, so if you are left alone, you will be dumped, okay? So the coupling went first with Steph picking Mimi. Sydney picks Tommy, not Timmy. Hannah picks Nico. Em picks Taylor. Xanthi picks Zayn. And Sophie picks Dylan, which made Indigo single, and ultimately he got dumped. Now, is that the best decision for her? Probably not. Probably not. But we know she likes the bad boy. The nice boy was just never going to do it for her. And I'm going to be honest, I don't fully buy Indigo's nice boy act. I think there's a difference between good guys and nice guys. And to me, Indigo just seems like a performative nice guy. I don't know. But anyways, the kiss between Sophie and Dylan gets exposed, which is so muggy.
Have you had time to even kiss yet?
We had a kiss on the terrace earlier tonight.
Just as we came out and had a drink, yeah.
Right.
I think Dylan has definitely scrambled last minute.
He's telling me that it's genuine. How can I say it's not until I'm proved wrong?
I'm unsure if it's genuine or not on Dylan's side.
I don't know. It's giving like once a fuckboy, always a fuckboy energy from him.
Now that everything is out on the table, I guess Sophie and Dylan can do whatever they want to do. Mimi is keeping an eye on them because she doesn't trust him. I mean, sure, fine. If you're doing it for the sake of looking out for your friend, that's one thing. But if you're doing it to like prove a point, like, see, I told you, like, girl, don't do that. Also, different people bring out different sides of you. So you might not have inspired him to really, you know, put the energy in there, but someone else will. Is that Sophie? I don't think so. But yeah, Sophie says that she is going to keep an eye on him, but she feels like their connection so far is really strong. It's the strongest she's had. Their conversations have been so great. She feels like he's genuine. And the other women question his, question how genuine he is. But the only thing that can really prove if somebody is genuine is time, is their actions. Do their words match up with their actions, right? This is something that I've been thinking about when people bring up love bombing and stuff. Love bombing to me let me not say only. Oftentimes, love bombing feels like love bombing because the relationship didn't go far. But if somebody's doing the same thing and ends up being in that relationship long term, it's not looked at as love bombing anymore. It's more like, oh, well, when you know, right? And the difference with those two is time. So I feel like let Dylan prove himself. I don't think he will, but give him the opportunity to disappoint you at least. That sounds so bad. I just think don't count somebody out if they haven't given you a real reason to count them out. Yeah. And Sophie hasn't said she has an issue with how Dylan has handled things, so let her discover it on her own. The next morning, the girls get a text that they are going to have a day out, a girls' day out, and they hang out with Sophie Monk, and they're gushing about their guys. Oh my gosh, I like this guy. I like him. Da, 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 da. Then a car pulls up with two new girls, Kayla and Chrissy, who are going to be headed into the villa. Now, what the people in the villa don't know is that the girls are going to get to spy on these dates.
I'm Chrissy, I'm 25 years old, I'm from Perth. Definitely my type on paper. Tall, dark, handsome kind of aesthetic. I have my eye on Steph and Dylan.
My name's Kayla, I'm 22 from the Central Coast. Type of guy that I normally go for, tall, dark, handsome, can bicep curl me maybe.
These girls are wow. Wow. Not to take away from the girls in the villa already, Kayla and Chrissy are stunning. Chrissy especially. Now this whole like, oh, I like a brunette, I like a blonde, to me that's so dumb, so stupid. Eye color, I can see it a little bit more. Me personally, I think brown eyes are beautiful. I don't know why there's so much disdain for brown eyes. Chrissy's eyes are stunning. They're like pools, like literally like pools with like sun glistening in the pool. Gorgeous eyes. So I can see why some of these guys are going to be really mesmerized by this girl. So the first person to go on these dates is Tommy. I've had enough of him.
Kayla? All right. So you're from Sydney?
Yeah, I'm from Sydney.
Yeah, gang.
People think I'm like 30. I'm like,
Yeah, gang.
So I'm an online coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
fitness? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, gang.
Stop dapping them up.
Gang. Yeah.
Tommy was so enthusiastic. He was damn near yelling in these girls' faces. And I'm just like, are you okay? Like, this definitely seems like a come up for him. Yes, he already has a platform on TikTok, but it's just like, if you guys watch the most recent season of UK, it's like Sean. He just came to boost his sweets business. Like, this is what it's giving me with this guy. I'm not liking him. I'm not liking him at all. So none of the girls were really feeling him. He was feeling Kayla at first, but please be so for real. Kayla was not checking for the Eggman. He wasn't really checking for Chrissy, which is fine because she wasn't checking for him. And he just kept saying, gang, 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 gang. He has watched one too many urban movies. Wrap it up. Next to go on the dates is Steph. Steph pleasantly surprised me. He immediately said, hey, I'm coupled up, open to explore, but I know where my priorities lie.
Coupled up with a girl whose name is Mimi.
Oh.
I love how quick he switched.
He playing us.
Yeah. Any sane girl that hears, oh, you've done Love Island twice, you're here for the third time. Bing, 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 bing,
Red
bing.
flag.
Like,
I'm looking for a relationship, obviously. And I'm in couple up with Mimi. Yeah, I'm still open.
Good response.
On the date, of course, Steph was going to be a little bit charming. He cannot help it. And it's Love Island. You're supposed to. You're supposed to charm. You're supposed to flirt. Like, come on. He didn't lay it on too thick, though, which is good. Mimi was almost irritated, but she knew she couldn't be at the end of the day because he did not cross any boundaries. Now, what was interesting was the guys off on the side were talking about Steph being a game player. They're like, listen, if I was a girl coming in and you hear that this guy has been on Love Island 3 times now, it's an absolute red flag. We see the way that he moves, like he's not here for the right reasons. Now, the women didn't hear that. I guess they can only hear the dates as they're actively going on. So I wonder if they have heard that going around, if any of the guys are going to share that insight with the girls or what. Because if Mimi catches wind that he is potentially playing her, I'm not sure that he is. Again, only time will tell, for real. I think she's gonna rip him a new asshole for sure. So I'm intrigued to see if that's gonna develop into anything. Next is Dylan, who obviously is open to explore. He literally just proved that the night before.
Found it hard to like be myself, you could say.
There we go. Wait.
So you're open
Exactly.
to getting to know like a bombshell? Or?
Definitely open, yeah.
So weird and scary to watch him say the exact same things that he said to me.
How are you? The eyes. Oh my days.
Thank you.
He says that about my eyes.
Like, I'm from Perth.
I must go to Perth actually. I've never been.
Please come.
When's your birthday?
November
What date?
15.
6th.
I'm freaky. You freaky?
I'm freaky.
I'm freaky as shit.
Are you fucking serious?
Dylan initially was very into Kayla's aesthetic, but as soon as he sat down with Chrissy, he was just taken aback. Like he was smitten, and I can't blame him. Like the girl is wow. She really is wow. So he says that in the villa, he felt like he hasn't been able to be himself. And he had just said that his Love Island journey has started being with Sophie, but now he's like, oh, I feel like I can really be open with it. There's just a lot of lines coming out of Dylan, okay? Sophie is upset because she feels like Dylan is repeating the same things to Chrissy as he did to her. And honestly, isn't that just what guys do? Like the pickup lines, all that stuff, like guys do that. They repeat the same lines, which is why you should never take too much stock in a pickup line. Me personally, y'all let me know. If anybody else is in the dating trenches, you let me know if you're like me. As soon as a guy hits me with a pickup line that very clearly has nothing to do with me, I'm out. I'm checked out of the conversation because this is recycled. I've literally had a guy message me the exact same paragraph. I just have to show you guys this. Peep the dates at the top because I sent both messages to my friends. It was actually 6 months apart and I didn't remember that I matched with him until I got the exact same message. It sounded quite familiar. And he sent me the message because I asked him if he was looking for a relationship and he said no. But then he proceeded to ask the following. And I'm just like, are you okay? Is everything on and working up there? Because what? These guys don't even realize when they're repeating the same BS. Like, don't take much stock in the pickup lines. Focus on what he says that pertains to you specifically. Zayn is next, and one of you guys absolutely killed me in the comments because you said that it is disrespectful for me to say that he has the personality of a toe because of a big toe, because big toes don't deserve that kind of slander. And so I need to say that he has the personality of a pinky toenail. So we're gonna go with that.
Oh.
Nice one.
What's your name?
Great teeth. Zayn.
You've got nice teeth too.
Thank you.
And what about your coupling?
Onto the strong stuff. Yeah, no, the coupling's good. It'd be silly not to be open.
He's not even saying my name. He was like, Xanthi who?
Oh, man.
That's so
the
nice.
boys are like, they mean everything. They're so good.
I like that.
He talks about the boys so much and then I get one little mention.
Are you a monogamous guy?
Hmm?
Are you monogamous?
Nah. Monogamous? Monogamy? What is that?
Xanthi, baby, I'm gonna need you to wake up. Okay, wake up, wake up. Who was that? TD Jakes.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Girl, wake up. Ugh. This man is self-interested. Zayn is always gonna do what is best for Zayn because he does not care. You're just a placeholder, okay? Who is calling me right now? Unfortunately for Xanthi, there's nobody else in the villa who she likes. I don't think there's anybody else who's checking for her. I mean, maybe Dylan, because that man can just switch like a hot potato, okay? So she kind of just has to ride this out until she either gets dumped or somebody gets sent in for her. But don't put so much stock in your relationship with Zayn. Like, at every opportunity, he proves to just not be that guy. Girl, I cannot wait for Xanthi to get a little bit more mature and watch this back and realize, oh my gosh, I was so blind. Actually, I can't even say that she's blind because she knows. She knows. But she's not protecting herself. She's still going full force in Zayn's direction, knowing that he's not giving her what she needs. And that's the worst part. Taylor is next, and at first, I was thinking he might be a problem, but he actually did pretty well.
Got you a little something down there, grew up myself.
Stop it. Thank you.
Has he ever given you a flower?
No, bitch.
It's wild in here. Like everything is 100 mile an hour. Very like.
And I'm in love with M.
I'm coupled up with M.
Thanks.
Very nice eyes.
Thank you.
Wow, we were. Wow, we were. Find love, find a connection. That's the main goal. But
I feel
obviously,
like he's into her.
Settle down eventually when I meet the right girl. So
I want a solid man so he can give me babies and I can be at home cooking.
Taylor came in with the flowers. He came in with the compliments, the charm, of course, as Taylor does. I feel like Taylor is a charmer, but not in the way that Steph is. Steph is a charmer in terms of like, it's a challenge for him to see what woman he can persuade. Whereas with Taylor, I think he's just like charming. Like he's just, you know, he's just that kind of guy. He is not closing things off, but he did make it clear, like, I do have a good thing going and I still want to see where that goes. Now, I want to see how long he and M will last because from the beginning, they both outlined that they are not compatible long term. And so Chrissy on paper seems to be down with what he's down with. She wants to be a stay-at-home mom, you know, she's ready for all that, settling down, da-da-da, whatever. That's what he wants. M don't want that. So we'll see how long this relationship lasts. And then last to go on a date, we have Nico, who did very well when it came to talking to Kayla, but kind of lost his way when he was talking to Chrissy.
From the start, we're together and we're vibing. We're actually on a really good page at the moment.
Nice.
When I say I'm not open, it's just that I'm like in a really good
You're
state.
into, yeah.
I know a fellow European and I see one.
As I said, still open. You know, down the track, she could find someone else in here, and then I put all my eggs in one basket, and then I'm falling out. So,
My ex was a Taurus and he was Greek, so.
oh really?
yeah.
So you know, you want to find someone to take home to your grandparents,
Yes.
and then you can eventually
Yes.
marry and have the kids. So you're into that, all that.
Yes.
And when you come out, and maybe you bring like a nice Greek guy home or something. Ignore the Crocs. I don't usually wear them. I hate them, but they're not me.
But you fucking wore him to the hideaway, you
Nico says that he's keeping his options open because he feels like Hannah could potentially go off and match with somebody else, so he shouldn't just put all his eggs in one basket. I don't see that happening with Hannah at this point. I think Hannah is pretty locked in. She was excited when the egg boy came in, but that's because they were just coming off of a fight. Is that good? No, but she was just being petty. Like she's locked in with Nico. I don't think that that's a good mentality to have with Nico, because it's like, are we moving from a place of fear? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are you in this? Yes or no? Make it clear, make it plain. Because that's where this relationship is starting to falter. He's holding on to pride. She's trying. I will say she's trying. She can be petty from time to time, but yeah, they're not having a transparent conversation about like boundaries and where they want things to go with each other and what is and isn't okay, and do they want to close things off at this point? Should they both explore fully? Like, have that conversation, because right now, I feel like Nico is going to be the one breaking Hannah's heart. Poor thing. I really don't see her head turning at this point. So anyways, the women decide they're given an option to share the information or keep it private. They decide to keep it private for the meantime because they want to see if they'll catch anybody in the lie. Now, they were expecting to catch the guys in the lie, but they actually catch the girls too.
Now we gotta be careful where we look.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble.
So does that mean you dated everyone today?
Yeah.
They sort of said that they were open except for one.
Who?
Nico.
Oh, that's so
Pretty
good.
much.
He said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure he was solid on.
Is it the chill?
Poor Chrissy. She was trying to be a girl's girl and make sure that Hannah doesn't start to spiral, but they already know the truth, so there's no point lying. As for the guys, Steph was feeling a little bit worried. He didn't quite remember everything that he said, but he handled it quite well, and even Mimi said that too. She's like, no, you did fine, honestly. Zayn mentioned Xanthi in passing, which isn't great. And then Xanthi starts to spiral. She's like, well, you said you like gym girls, and she's a gym girl, and I'm not a gym girl, but I like the treadmill. I have a gym membership. Xanthi. Please, babe, to see her consistently try to like prove herself to this guy, knowing that he's not doing half the things that she's doing. Like, I think that's what's annoying me. If they were both putting in equal effort, as beggy as it may look, at least it's reciprocal. But because he's barely trying, it's just a sad story to watch. So sad to watch. I need her to stand up. I need somebody to whip her into shape. Immediately. Then you have Dylan. He's chilling. Dylan does not care. Sophie ended up being apologetic. She was like, oh, I didn't mean to grill you. That's not my intention. Babes, I need you to stand up too. Okay? Thank you very much. Now, the girl who was ready to give her man a true grilling was Hannah. And Nico got back into his defensive bag.
Do you think you were being closed off or like open?
Yeah, and what did I say? What was my reply?
You tell me.
I am good with Hannah. We are the best in the villa.
Just relax a bit. It's just a conversation.
I didn't do that, Bar.
You just did this.
I didn't.
Like,
No, I didn't. Said the exact same. Well, she obviously heard.
You didn't say the exact same thing.
I was.
And you said it would be great if she could take a Greek boy home to her parents. And but, like, for them, you're like, sorry, girls, I've got my Crocs on.
Got nothing to hide.
But you kind of do, because you were flirting with her and giving her mixed signals.
I actually really want the
I need
tape.
to go to the bathroom.
The bathroom's not that way.
I'm going to the bathroom.
The bathroom is not that way.
So I personally don't recall Nico shutting things down immediately with Chrissy. And he says that because he already said, oh, I got a good thing going, I'm not really too keen on exploring, to Kayla, and Chrissy overheard, he didn't feel the need in reiterating that. What? No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works, okay? You need to articulate the same thing to every girl if that's what you truly mean. Because now you look duplicitous if you're saying one thing to one girl and another thing to another girl. And it's just going to say, oh, but she heard what I said to stop. Hannah does start to get upset with him. She gets up, she walks away. That's not a great way to communicate. She has issues with how he communicates. She has her issues too. But like I said, if they're not going to talk about their boundaries, if they're not going to talk about a clear cut, this is what is and isn't okay in our relationship. Do we even want to form a relationship on the outside? Are we going to be fully open to exploring or what? Because Hannah, I don't know if it's just because a guy just hasn't come in who's tickled her fancy. She's actually been locked in. And if Nico can't see that, I don't know. They have to have a serious talk because it's going to get ugly. Absolutely. The next episode, what happens in the next episode? Oh, they play a kissing game. It is going to be dramatic. I'm ready to see whose head truly gets turned because the guys are being nice now, but I'm sure a lot of them are more keen on the girls than they're trying to make it seem. So we'll see what happens in that challenge. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.